Oh my god, Bannerlord's update. Let's see what people are saying about this thing. This is a 13 gigabyte update. Oh, hello. Mount and Blade 1.8 is finally here. I have made a video on the beta version of this, but we have the final full release now. This is perhaps one of the most influential updates that Bannerlord has had in years. The last time that we had something this big was almost a year ago with the battle terrain features and the battle deployment system. Now we're going even further within. Tale Wars couldn't even fit everything they wanted to say within the patch notes on Steam itself because of the word limit, because boy, we've got a lot to chat about. First things first, Callum, the Tale Wars community manager, has been replying. Steam Workshop is coming very, very soon. This is something that everybody has been waiting for because, you know, it does take some time to log onto Nexus Mods or ModDB, make an account, then go to the hassle of finding the correct version of the files. Sometimes it's not compatible with other things, and having Steam Workshop support to just do a few clicks, subscribe to that mod, get it downloaded to your Mount and Blade is ideal, especially when it comes to growing in the modding community. Of course, 1.8 comes with the generic updates, such as single-player fixes and crashes, as well as multiplayer bugs and UI changes. Performance has been greatly increased, fixed various lag spikes, fixed CPU usage spikes, and optimized a lot in terms of UI and how the performance of the formation of the AI goes in the battles themselves. Of course, optimization is really important when trying to get these big battles working in Bannerlord, and many people on especially lower-end systems often run into issues, so it's great that these are still being increased and improved. Of course, art is a massive factor. There are 4 new battle scenes within the game. When you meet an army on the battlefield, it's going to load up a certain scene, and within the last update that added the battle terrain system, it loads up a scene that indicates to how it would look on the actual campaign map itself. If there's a bridge there, there'd be a bridge on the battle scene. If there's a forest behind you, there'd be a forest behind you on the battle itself. 4 new battle scenes have been added in order to increase the detail and depth that this battle terrain system works. Of course, they already added in 36 new battle scenes within that update, and it's going to keep going up and up and up, making it more detailed each time. So finally, when they get to the point where they've finished adding in battle scenes, we're going to have a certain and unique look to every battle that you play within the campaign, no matter where you fight it on the overworld map. Not only this, but we have 6 new town scenes: Phycon, Dithama, Senapia, Seneria, Epicatria, and Danustica, something that I've actually shown in my beta version of the 1.8 update. There's also 7 new outer meshes to existing town scenes, and a load when it comes to new armors and gear, helmets, shoulder pauldrons, everything that you can think of. They've added in a ton of new stuff. There's been a few new updates when it comes to UI changes, some notable ones being the new hero death in combat difficulty option and enable birth and death have been put onto a separate module, so if you want to go full hardcore, you're going to be loading up that module itself. The armor effectiveness is a massive sticking point when it comes to balancing games like this, making sure that armor actually works as it should do. Now, there has been improvements within this sphere. Reduce the armor coefficient from 100 to 50. Basically, this just means that one armor now provides 2 health points against blunt attacks, making it work as you'd actually expect armor to do. Now, one of the big selling points of this 1.8 update are the smaller, more behind the scenes stuff. There's nothing massive in terms of like the battle terrain system that we got before that is right in your face showing us this is a new feature, but it is going to subtly change the way that you play the game, especially in battles. There's been an implemented improved system for spawning reinforcements within these battles themselves. Reinforcements will now always spawn near the deployment boundaries of said battle. For example, you're not going to be getting people spawning out in the open, spawning within other troops. The initial wave of troops always spawns on the original path with respect to the position of the battle on the campaign map and the battle size. When troops spawn in, they will spawn in the exact place that you'd expect them to be from the overworld map in relation to forests, rivers, bridges, and of course, mainly the other enemy army. Something quite interesting I saw where it says, change the AI so it now uses the formation's total power, including all spawn troops, to decide battle tactics, which interestingly enough seemed like a really base feature that probably should have been in the game before. Essentially what this means is that the AI will choose the best formation to use in order to win the battle. I guess that's a good thing. I mean, it makes sense. There's even memes about Bannerlord battles, F1, F3, select all your troops and charge, and that's kind of what the AI tend to do. There was this whole thing on the lead up to Bannerlord about how the AI are going to choose certain positions. They'll get their guys on top of a hill if they need that advantage, but it didn't always work out that way in the battles themselves. So I'm glad that's definitely been addressed now. There's been big changes to character development systems and clan and party systems. A lot of perks have been fixed and reintroduced as well, and calculating the actual XP gain and results of said perks has been greatly improved. The campaign map AI has been improved again. AI will now better decide whether they're going to patrol, defend, or besiege according to the success rates and the aggressiveness of the AI armies. Tavern mercenaries can now be hired through the menu option, even with your party at capacity, so you don't have to walk into the tavern in order to see everyone that you can talk to and get into your clan. API documentation for Bannerlord has now been fully released. Modders can now define and add different races like orcs, elves, etc. through the skins.xml files. This is something that might not be that interesting to people that aren't into modding, but in layman's terms, it means that there's a lot more options into doing complete overhauls within the game itself. Speaking of modding, multiplayer servers are a big part and a big question at when they're going to be coming. There have been some recent tests. In fact, the other day I was notified of this video. It's actually a custom Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord server that was given to them by Lucon, who is a part and member of the Sword and Musket mod, the Napoleonic Wars mod for Mount and Blade. Tailwords have said that they're giving out custom servers and testing them with big players in the community, and this has been something that's been going on for weeks, if not months now. And this is probably our first real look at that. This is a multiplayer server that has been customly modified. Of course, customly modified in strange ways, having less gravity, complete speed up, and I'm assuming some damage boost here. It's absolute insanity, but they're playable now, and they will be coming very, very soon. Callum confirms this by yesterday saying that they're almost there with 1.8 multiplayer servers. Someone also said, what about multiplayer modding support? And they've said that should come with the server files. So as soon as we get these custom servers, which has already been stated is almost there, the modding files will be with that. And multiplayer mods such as Full Invasion 2, Persistent World will be on the road, and I'm sure they won't be too far behind. This is an incredibly interesting update. I think on the face, most people might be disappointed with the lack of content, but it's going to really change your game behind the scenes. Sneaky little improvements here or there, whether it is spawning of the AI, your own troops, whether it's fixing and making sieges and full-out battles way better, or of course the introduction soon of multiplayer servers and custom modding within those multiplayer servers as well. Bannerlord as a whole is really growing now. We still are ramping up to something. Whether it is that full release coming at the end of this year, who knows, but something quite exciting. We have Gamescom right around the corner on the 25th of August, and Bannerlord have already stated that they will, I repeat, will be there. They're going to be showing off the console version of Mount and Blade 2, and boy, I hope that they reveal something else at the same time. That doesn't seem all that likely, but we can still hold out. Nevertheless, there'll be much more content and talking and news about Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord in the next couple of weeks, so please stick around the channel if you haven't subscribed already, because Gamescom is on its way, and Tailwords will be revealing all. But until then, I will see you in the next one.